so excited that you decided to join us this evening. Welcome to the Roll the Level stream. For those that don't know, we are a group of gamers and friends who absolutely love Jesus and love each other and love to hang out in community, and that's why we're here. My particular stream is all about that hump day take a breath. Up to this point, I know for myself is exceptionally busy, and so I like to kind of chill on Wednesday nights. So we'll have some great tunes in the background. We're going to play the Kick It Old School tonight with some Torchlight, which I'll explain a little bit in a minute. But really tonight is about slowing down, taking a breath, and just relaxing. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. So I am playing a classic game called Torchlight. I am a huge fan of ARPGs. I've been playing ARPGs since as long back as Diablo, I think, way back in the day. And absolutely love them. And the great thing about ARPGs, at least for me, is that it's one of those games you can kind of put on and almost play in the background while you kind of veg out or relax. Torchlight specifically, like I mentioned last week, is one of those games that came along at just the right time. We had seen Diablo, we'd seen Diablo 2, and then there was this drought. There were some clones, a few games along the way that were good. Titan Quest was great, Sacred 2 was really good, but there wasn't really anything that scratched that Diablo 2 itch until Torchlight came along. Developed by Runic Games, it was just an incredible story of the underdog coming out of nowhere and creating this incredible game in 11 months. And that's building a whole engine from scratch, while opening a company, while developing and writing and designing and implementing this incredible game. And so that's actually what we're going to jump into tonight. So we're going to just jump over to that right now and continue this adventure. Now, last time we were just starting to get past the Ember Forge. Oh, my mic is super low. Thanks, Dame. I appreciate that, buddy. Is this any better? How's that there? This is what happens when you use the same controller for multiple things. How's that feeling now? Is that feeling pretty good? Any better? Getting there? I can crank her to 11, man, if you need me to. How's that? Any better there? Ah, perfect. Thanks. Appreciate that. So as I was saying, last time we were just getting to the Ember Forge to kind of save the day there. And when we got there and defeated the big baddie, we were met with a rumbling of the earth. And so here we are now trying to figure out why the heck the world around us is going crazy. So that's where we're jumping in now. And let me know how those audio levels are. Again, I use these controllers for multiple things throughout the week, so I end up swapping them around. I really should write this down, but I always forget to. So we'll see how it goes. But how's everybody doing tonight? Dame, how are you, man? You doing all right? Things good? Who else I got in my chat with me here? Nice. Good, man. Glad to hear it. Very glad to hear it. Thanks for joining me tonight as we continue this adventure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Agreed, man. I am also excited to hear about potential things in the mix for you guys. I can't wait to hear more about that as those plans develop. So for those that are joining us for the first time, last week I actually let the stream kind of pick what build I went with for this character. So we are going straight Berserker. I'm not even speccing into anything else, just rolling out the Berserker hard. And so right now what I've done is I've maxed out dual wielding because we're going to go for that just brute force build. And now I'm working on Adventurer for that increased XP, increased fame gain. This one thing I didn't talk about last week. I actually had forgotten about this mechanic because I haven't played this game in forever. But this game has a fame mechanic, which essentially, as you kill named mobs, as you kill like orange level mobs and stuff, it increases your fame level, and fame is like a secondary XP. And every time you kind of hit the cap and it resets, you get an additional skill point that's not tied to your level. So it's kind of this nice little perk where if you go and do some of the side quests that require you to kill certain mobs and do certain things, it actually boosts your skill points, which is a pretty sweet deal. So yeah, so it's good. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to max out Adventurer just to kind of get that extra little push. At level 20, I can jump down and either get Spectral, Echo, or Critical Strikes. And this is an interesting thing about Torchlight that I really liked, is that there are a lot of really shiny abilities, as you can see on all the different trees, you do all the different things. But one of the things this game really allows you to lean into is the passive stuff. I wouldn't say it's like Path of Exile level of crazy when it comes to passives, but it does allow you to really kind of spec into just, I want to punch things hard, let me spec into punching things hard. And so it's kind of a nice way to really work on your skill trees and do cool things with them. So yeah, so that's what we're working right now. I haven't decided what I'm going to do at 20. Maybe you guys can help me out with that tonight. I skipped over Chain Vortex. I'm not really super excited about stunning things. Not using offensive magic dramatically. So yeah, right now I'm looking at either, Spectral Echo will active attacks cause a Spectral Echo that damages foes beyond their normal range, dealing a 30% of weapon damage. So it's kind of that nice like burst out damage that reaches beyond. Or we continue down this passive theme that I've been leaning into and just push that critical strike bonus. And go for hard damage. So my goal is to get Devastate, which is pretty awesome. It's this mix of a dash with all of the flurry of hitting the things, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how it goes when we get to 20. We're actually about 3/4 of the way, so we're gonna have to make some decisions here soon. But go hard into passives. All right, man. I appreciate that. We can definitely spec into critical strike after. I think I'm gonna actually don't even know where my Fame XP bar is. I don't know if you can see it when you pull up. Yeah, okay. So I've got a bit to go in Fame, which is this bar indicator here. So what I might do is cap out. Let's see here. Do we cap out? Do we finish Adventurer just to get that 20% increase gain and then spend into Crit Strike? Or do we just dive right into Crit Strike? That's my kind of my hard choice right now. So you guys let me know what you think we should do, and I'd be curious. I thought that was supposed to reject passivity. Oh, buddy. Yes, but if that passivity is going to increase your crit strike, I mean, can you really say no to that? That's the question I always ask. So it's good. All right, I gotta actually send my pet to town because this is crazy high inventory, and I've got a mysterious sword. We need to do something about that. So let's just shift some things around here. There's a great hotkey. If you hold shift in this game, you can just quickly push things over. I also unlocked a spell for quickly identifying things, which is super nice. So, Kira, welcome to the stream, by the way. I did not actually welcome you. Sorry about that. It's so good to have you here. Thanks for jumping in chat with us as well. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Yeah, that's the motto of most of my characters, actually. That's good. What's this? Serpent increases electrical, physical element taken was reduced by 2. Man, not super keen on those, so we're gonna just toss those for now. But I am interested in this sword that we just picked up, so we'll see how that goes. Let's actually take a quick second here. The one thing in this game, my one real big gripe, is that I cannot reassign hotkeys, which is driving me nuts. All right, unique sword, Balby Buster. All right, what does this thing do? It's 325 damage. That is an awesome increase. It's got a socket on it. I like that life steal. Mana steal's kind of nice too. 12% damage bonus. I think we're definitely gonna have to equip that. So let's drop that. What's this one? Did I get rid of? No, got rid of the wrong one. All right, let's do that. Put that over there. All right, and we can continue on our merry way. The other thing that's been interesting in this game too is, again, it's an old game, but pathing can be an issue sometimes, especially with your dash and things like that. But it's one of those games where you love it through its flaws and you keep moving. So, all right, so we have hit that level 20. So let's just open that up. Actually, let's hit the right buttons first. There we go. Okay. So me being me, I'm just gonna spec into straight damage and hope I don't die. All right, I think I want to cap off Adventure just so I can be done with it. And then next point, we're definitely going to spec into crit. So the big question is what's going to come first? Probably Fame before XP, actually. So we might get that skill point. Do you ever find yourself in place? Yeah, I get stuck with the dash sometimes, or like it just won't. Like I'll click on something and it won't walk properly to it to dash, and so it just kind of looks at me funny, which is kind of weird. But yeah, one of the weird things with it. But I mean, as long as you plan it right, and what I'm finding with dash in this particular game is that like you don't target the first guy, you got to target like the third guy, and then it'll push through them all like that. It's one of the weird quirks. I mean, arguably every game has its quirks. Also, it's coffee time. Oh, you gotta appreciate good coffee, guys. We talked last week about our favorite coffees, or favorite coffee combos. So since then, I've been doing some research. Yeah, man, I mean, it's a classic. Like it's like firing up. I would say it's like firing up Diablo 2. Like you love what it is, but you have to accept the quirks. And D2's like that, and that might be heresy for all of you ARPG guys out there. I think I just went full circle. D2 is, arguably one of the best games out there for ARPGs historically, but it does have some quality of life issues, I think. And maybe it's just because I'm old now and I don't want to deal with it as much, but stamina system for sure. Oh, buddy, yeah, you should definitely install it right now, 100%. Yeah, D2's definitely showing its age. That stam system's a little rough. Inventory system, like I know some people really enjoy the inventory Tetris. I just do not. It's one of my biggest gripes with PoE as well. Is just that, like, I just do not enjoy having to manage inventory. I want to manage swords and axes and hammers, not inventory. See, look at that. Even in this, I think I should just have a TARDIS for inventory. It would solve everything, honestly. Alright, we are just about filled up here. Let's burn these since we have them. Arguably, I could sell them, but I don't care that much.
My inventory is full.
Yeah, oh, that's a great app idea. I love that. It's too bad I don't know someone who codes. But, yeah, no, I really like that idea. That could be really fun. The whole game is just about managing inventory and shuffling. Alright, we gotta send that guy to town. So one thing I do remember from Torchlight 2, which I'm really excited to when I get to that game eventually, is that you could actually send your pets to town with a shopping list, which is amazing. It's one thing you don't get here, so you do have to go back to town. But I do like, even here, like this saves me so much time, because I don't have to keep running back to town all the time. The only time I really go back is to pick up new quests, typically. I feel so I love you, buddy. You're great. You're doing great. Oh man, that's good. How are the audio? How's the audio levels, guys? Is the game and stuff all right? Yes, I do know you in inventory. It's insane. All right, let's see where we're at here. Perfect. Thanks for letting me know. I find that's the one thing I always find hard setting up these streams. Like I've said before, we're still figuring out all of the stream stuff, and I am an audio snob, so I get really intense when my audio sucks. So I appreciate all the feedback. All the stuff I didn't pick up. All right. There we go. All right. So one of the things I did want to talk to you guys about tonight was what are you guys watching right now? I recently finished the first and apparently now only season of a show called The Irregulars, which I'll talk about in a minute. But what are you guys watching right now? Anything exciting? Anything I should be aware of? I am always down for a good series or a movie, and I'm finding it harder and harder to find a decent one. So I would love your guys' insight. All right. Well, you guys are figuring out what shows you're watching. So I've been watching a show called Irregulars, which is this interesting, weird take on the whole Sherlock Holmes story arc. And interestingly, though, it's not like specifically about Sherlock per se. It's actually about a group of kids who are recruited. Are you watching House of the Third time? Oh, nice. I never did watch House all the way through. I started it like several times, but with most of those shows, once you kind of get the pattern of writing, I kind of lose interest. But not that it wasn't a good show. The lead actors in that were absolutely incredible. So, oh shoot, I just sent my pet to town. That's super awkward. It's gonna be awful hard to sell inventory. Anyway, The Irregulars is about a group of street kids during the time of Sherlock Holmes who are recruited to investigate supernatural things that are happening in London. And so it's this kind of very weird, twisted take on the whole whole story of Sherlock and told from a different perspective. It was good. I don't know. Sometimes the pacing felt a little weird. It was this weird struggle of like trying not to be a serial, but still feeling very serial-esque. I did like kind of the main 4 characters in it. Wasn't a huge fan of the depiction of Sherlock and Watson or their relationship. I'm a big fan of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's stuff and the writing around Holmes, and I have very strong opinions about that. So this was definitely not my favorite. I'm gonna jump to town real quick here. Not my favorite depiction of those 2 characters particularly, but I did absolutely love the 4 main characters in the relationships, or sorry, 5 main characters in the relationships between them. Thought those were great. So it wasn't too bad that way. I really should actually read this inventory without deleting it. I don't care about that or that or that. What are these? Nope. Alright, get rid of that. Watching The Rookie this season. So The Rookie is really good. Nathan Fillion, great show. Love his comedic timing is absolutely awesome anyway. But what's the other show you're watching there? For All Mankind. I've never heard of this. Explain it to me. What is it? Alright. While you're doing this, I just realized that I don't think Twitter broadcasted that we were live, so I'm going to fix that real quick. It's going to be Batmobile, and I will do that here shortly. Actually, I can do it right from my phone. Give me 1 second here, guys. Go. Let me just grab this real quick. All right. Almost there. So what if style show that proposes a world where Russia won the space race? Oh, interesting. That's a cool concept. I like that. How was it? What's your review of this? I'm very curious. Alright, just about there, guys. Thanks for your patience while I figure this out. We will get this tech figured out eventually, possibly. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That didn't do what I wanted. Technology's hard, guys. There we go, that's what we want. Let's copy link, perfect. I will get this figured out eventually. Ah, being attacked. We'll do two things at once. That's never ended badly. There we go. Wow. Okay, there we go. All right. What does it propose? I'm catching up now. Okay, so there's a full moon base established for both, a hunt for water and minerals. Oh, that's interesting. You said it's an Apple Plus? That's kind of, or Apple TV Plus, or whatever they call that thing now. Oh, that's upstairs. Let's go back the way we came. That's really interesting. I like that. And did you enjoy it? Was it everything you hoped it would be? Nice. That's cool. That's really cool. I'll check it out. That sounds good. Good character development and stuff. One of the questions I always find interesting with shows like this, where you have two competing companies, nations, whatever, is like how do they do with the balance? Oh, that's cool. I like the fact that we weave the historical stuff in, but how do they do balancing like both sides? Like, is one side clearly the bad guy or are they trying to kind of show a different perspective, you know, two different perspectives?
How could you resist the call of Wardrock once this colossus has subdued you? Your transformation.
Is this boss fight? This is boss fight. Boss fight! Boss fight! Oh, this is taking forever. I died with this last week. I hate cutscenes. I wish I could skip all of them. Alright, let's kill... Oh gosh, these things actually hurt me more than most of the bosses. These stupid lady ball things. Some of those, just to distract for a minute. Alright, let's punch him. I've really leveled the cleave up, so it's actually pretty decent for punching things. Also helps that he's 5 levels lower than me. Boom, and we got it. Good job, guys. We did it. That was actually pretty anticlimactic, if I'm being honest. Alright, let's head this way. Gotcha. Well, that's alright. Oh, cutscene. Can you hear the voice acting in this, guys? I have my music really loud in my headphones, so I can't hear any of it. Okay, cool. So it's not just me. It's the volume of the game. Alright. Okay, so kill some goblins. I'm going to summarize this real quick. We're going to the Dwarven Fortress, which will be really cool. We got to kill some goblins and find the Ember Forge. So I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just do it. Did either or any of you watch, what is it? Falcon and Winter Soldier. Did you guys see that? Oh, sorry, another cutscene. I'll be quiet.
The rock beneath my feet grew warm, and sulfur burned in my nostrils. As I squeezed through the crack in the rock, I expected to see lava, but still, I was unprepared. The glow of bubbling rock blinded my cavern-adjusted eyes, and when my vision cleared, I saw what I at first took to be...
Alright, cool. Stuff and things happen. Let's kill things. This is probably one of my favorite tile sets in this game, by the way, side note. I just really like the aesthetic of this, like, busted up, crumbling fortress, so it's good. Alright, so you did see Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you enjoyed it. Are you, now, Dame, are you a big Marvel fan specifically, superhero fan specifically? Like, how's this roll? Oh, my pack's full. There's a surprise. That's alright, Kieran. I haven't seen it either, man. I have not taken the time to watch it yet. It's on my list, but I have a lot of things on my list, so. And I will be honest, I am struggling a bit from superhero fatigue. I don't know if that's because I just finished watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and so I'm just tired, or what, but. Nice, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, Marvel is definitely they've got their formula, and it's a good formula, and I do not criticize them for that. Yeah, that's fair. Watching all the movies first. Wow, that's impressive. You're going through the entire Infinity Saga. That's impressive, actually. I don't know that I could do that. Oh, I think, you know what? Hold on. Weapon, health recovery. Yeah, let's do a little more life leech, man. I'm all about that. All right, cool. Let's keep moving. Yeah, so I think I've watched all of the Marvel movies now. I'm pretty sure I'm all caught up. And they were great, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Captain America, so I thoroughly enjoyed his 3 movies. The third probably being my least favorite of the 3. Just because it wasn't so much about him as I would have liked it to be, but it's still great. But some of the later movies, man, like I struggled to get through them, not because they were terrible. I think I was just tired of the genre, which is sad to say because I'm a big superhero guy. I mean, arguably I'm probably more DC than Marvel, not movies, but comics. So I'm always up for more Batman, but that's just me. I will take Batman every day of the week. So that's me. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us now, thanks so much for coming to hang out with some chill time. Tonight is all about just relaxing, talking pop culture, playing some video games, playing some Torchlight right now, which is a classic ARPG that helped, I think, sustain the genre until games like D3 and PoE came out. So it's good. And currently we're talking about superheroes and movies. Okay, what are your thoughts on Robert Patterson as Batman? That is a great question. I think before I can answer that question, I need to give you some insight into my psyche about Batman and Bruce Wayne. I have historically been very critical of most Batman movies because I do not feel... I miss the sparkles, that's fair. I don't miss the sparkles at all, actually. But so anyway, historically, I have always struggled with... movies not doing a great job of balancing the Bruce Wayne and Batman characters in writing. It typically leans hard into one and not so much into the other, or one's an afterthought. Like, I enjoyed Batman Begins and the Nolan trilogy, but I didn't really like the way Bruce Wayne was written. I actually was very disappointed that they never really developed him at all. It was very forced. It didn't feel natural. Didn't feel like it was written well. So that was really disappointing to me. And I like Christian Bale, like, as an actor, so it wasn't like I don't like this actor. It was just the character writing wasn't great. You know, I don't talk about Batman Forever or Batman and Robin because I like my life. But Michael Keaton's Batman, probably still one of my favorites. And I'll get to that in a second. But I before I even do that, and I know this is a really long answer to your question, but you shouldn't ask me these questions unless you want really long answers. Ben Affleck's Batman, from a writing standpoint, was probably one of the best kicks at the can. I don't think they did everything right. I appreciate that. I don't think they did everything right with his Batman from a writing perspective, but I feel like they pushed harder to lean into the human side of him, to lean into the Bruce Wayne, especially actually in Batman v Superman, than some of the earlier movies that did. Yeah, I just really liked the way they presented him as a character, and arguably, I mean, Affleck's not a bad actor in some movies. Some movies I question, but in some movies he's not. And so, like, I felt he did a good job at presenting a Batman Bruce Wayne combination. My critique actually of those movies is there wasn't enough Batman. He had the mask off too much, honestly. Again, it wasn't balanced well. So that was probably my only critique there. But anyway, back to Michael Keaton. One of the reasons I absolutely Michael Keaton as Batman, which I'm still getting back to your Robert Patterson question, I promise. One of the reasons I like Michael Keaton so much as Batman is because Michael Keaton was one of those, like, it was like the Heath Ledger casting when that happened with The Dark Knight. Everybody lost their crap because they're going, what the heck? Except that it was like 1988 when it was announced, and so instead of everybody tweeting about it. You must have constructed additional Batmans, you're right. Instead of everybody tweeting about it, they wrote hate mail. And WB got just hammered with hate mail about Michael Keaton as Batman, because up to that point in his career, Michael Keaton had been a horror comedian. I mean, I believe he had just done Beetlejuice. Don't quote me on that. I may have these backwards. This was a long time ago. He'd done Beetlejuice. He had done movies like, I don't know if he had done Multiplicity yet. But essentially, he had done comedy. That's what he was known for, and he was good at it. He's actually an excellent comedian, and you see that even in some of his newer movies, like when he plays Vulture in Homecoming, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like, you see those comedic roots in that character. But what's great about Keaton is he's got this crazy range, and he can go from "haha, I'm the funny dad" to "I will kill you in your sleep" in the blink of an eye, and that's what made him such a good Batman. And Bruce Wayne, because he could flip on a dime. I recently went back and rewatched Batman and Batman Returns, 89 Batman and then Batman Returns. And first of all, Jack Nicholson as Joker was amazing. But I really took the time to kind of watch the nuance of how he presented his Bruce Wayne and how he presented his Batman. And it was incredible when you really look into it. One of the things I went back recently and watched a documentary on how Michael Keaton how he got in the head of Batman, and the way that suit was designed. This is more information than you ever needed on Batman, but sorry, you're getting it anyway. The way that suit was designed is it was literally like being vacuum sealed in rubber. Like you could not move, and it was claustrophobic. Apparently, I mean, I'm not speaking from experience here, but based on what he said, and so he leveraged that. You know, oh man, I got Batman knowledge for days. Anyway, so Keaton actually, the first time he put that suit on, began to leverage that into the character. That's why you see those very, very subtle nods with his head. That's why there's a lot of close-ups with the eye shots and things like that. Is because he actually, when he went in the suit, he decided that he was gonna stop. Like he wanted to reduce the amount of lines he had as the character. Hey, well, welcome, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, man, you're jumping into the middle of my Batman rant. So, well, just buckle up and enjoy this ride. I promise it'll be over sometime in the next hour. We're talking. The initial question was talking about Patterson's Batman, what I thought of it. So we're now talking about 1989 and Michael Keaton. So I promise it all makes sense. You just have to go back, but it's good. It's good. So anyway, so Keaton, it's 89. He's putting on the bat suit, or 88, sorry, when they're filming, putting on the bat suit, and feels claustrophobic. And so he decides to leverage that and lean into that and create this persona of fear, of the unknowing. And so he actually, in Batman Returns, when he saw the script, he actually went back to Tim Burton and said, I'm only doing this if we can cut half of the dialogue out as Batman. He's like, we need to get rid of Batman's talking. Like, this is ridiculous. And Keaton, or sorry, and Burton was like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. So they did. They actually got rid of it because for Keaton, the whole presentation was what you didn't know. Like his whole presentation of Batman was what you didn't know who he was. He leaned, even before Bale made it cool, he leaned into the fear. And did such an incredible job with that. And when you watch it from a cinematic standpoint and just kind of take in the way it's shot and the way it's filmed, you really get that sense of creating fear and communication with eyes and all these things. And so that's why I love Keaton's Batman, because he really used his physicality to present this character more so than dialogue. And I thought it was great. And yeah, and it was so good. And it's interesting, as an aside, if you go back and watch those movies and watch how the fight scenes are choreographed, it's so dramatically different than what we see today. Most of the combat in those movies were it was a 1-2 punch done. A lot of that was because practically it was super restrictive. I am being grenaded here right now. But again, it was a lot of the suit was restrictive, and they're just dealing with all these other things. So anyway, all that to say, Robert Patterson. I've watched Robert Patterson in some movies outside of the mainstream Twilight junk and all that jazz. And when you put him in the right setting, he actually has a pretty decent range. And part of that range is to present this dark character, not like the tween, brooding, ridiculous emo kid, but an actual like depth style character. And so I am cautiously optimistic of what... Oh, that was weird. Did I click twice? I must have clicked twice. I'm cautiously optimistic of what Patterson can bring to this role. Assuming, and this is the big kicker, assuming that the writing is good. Because at the end of the day, it's not like George Clooney is a terrible actor, but you put him in something where he's got nothing to work with, and it's going to be a terrible movie, i.e. Batman and Robin. And so with Patterson, I think he actually could pull this off really, really well. A lot of it's going to depend, though, on how well they write the Batman and Bruce Wayne character. And again, this is why I like Keaton's Batman Bruce Wayne combo so much, is because he played a completely different character for Bruce Wayne. And if you jump into the 90s cartoon, you see a lot of that dynamic. Adam West is the true Batman. I appreciate what Adam West brought, in that he really... Now, don't get me wrong, there was a Batman serial before Adam West, but he did actually really make Batman mainstream for a culture. Up to that point, Batman had been, as the Silver Age of comics and all that stuff, Batman had very much been a part of that, but it still wasn't mainstream culture. But what Adam West did on TV, as silly as it is to go back and watch, he introduced a whole generation that knew nothing about this character to the character. And so for that, I absolutely appreciate what he brought to the table with that. Is this any good? No, don't care about that. Okay. So yeah, so that's good. That being said, I'm not a fan of the original Adam West series for a lot of reasons, but it's good. So it's good there. But and he brought a shark repellent. He did. He did introduce the world to bat shark repellent, which I mean arguably is one of the best things in the world. We all need more of that. Having a fear of sharks, I am all for that. It's good, man. I wouldn't even started talking about Batmobiles yet, so don't even get me going on that. But so yeah, so Keaton's presentation of Batman and Bruce Wayne, I think kudos to him plus the writers for actually writing fleshed out, developed characters. Because when you write Batman, you're writing two characters. You've got to approach it that way, and you're writing two different characters. Because one of Batman's biggest struggles is who is he? Is he Bruce Wayne or is he Batman? Like, this is always, which one is the mask is always kind of the core question for Batman. And it's why he always, deals with that moral conundrum of killing the villain. It would actually be better for the world if Joker was dead, type of struggle. And it goes back to this Batman versus Bruce Wayne thing. Favorite Batmobile? Oh my word, man. I'm going to have to go, I think, for just sheer beauty, I'm going with the 89 again. 89 Batman. Functionality, though, probably either the Christian Bale-mobile, or I did like, it wasn't featured enough, I actually really liked the tankiness of Affleck's Batmobile as well. I thought that was pretty sweet. It also was a good nod to the Dark Knight Returns comic book, which is what Affleck's Batman was inspired by. Costume, everything. Even Affleck getting as big as he did for that movie was based on the Dark Knight Returns comic series, which there is actually a Netflix adaptation of that comic series. You should absolutely watch it if you haven't yet. It's a really good story, and gets to some of the core issues I'm talking about with his identity and who he is and stuff. Really good. Yes, the animated one was pretty sick. It was actually a combination of it took inspiration from the 89, but also an earlier draft. Oh shoot, what was it? It was in the 80s too. It was an 80s comic, and I can't remember what series it was now. Of course, I'm losing my brain on this. But yeah, it was inspired by a couple different Batmobiles and was pretty awesome. I would agree with that statement as well. But I still like the 89 the best. I think part of it's the nostalgia of it, honestly. But it is just a really cool car. I got to see a replica of it one time in real life, and that was amazing. So that's that's the thing. So yeah, so those are my thoughts. I think Patterson can do it. I think he has the capability. Matt Reeves has produced some good stuff in the past to the director. He's directed some good stuff. Yeah, that huge engine turbine, I agree. So I think all of the parts are there for a really good movie. Whether or not they pull it together is a different story. I mean, the trailer looks pretty sick, but trailers are interesting anyway, especially in today's world. How we design trailers is a whole other discussion point. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on Batman. Will, welcome to the stream, buddy. Glad you're here, man. So yeah, so those are my thoughts. What about you guys? Who's your favorite Batman? Maybe you're not a Batman fan at all, so that'd be an easy question for you. Where are you guys with this whole Batman thing? They're my dudes. That's right. All right, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on stream. It's nice to have you in chat. And you have a great week, man. Hope you got to chill a little bit tonight. It's good to see you. Oh, my word. I feel like my pack is always full in this game. Probably shouldn't do this while I'm fighting everything, but it'll be fine. We got this. I was just sending the town now. Preemptive here. Yes. Yeah, the animated series, I didn't bring them up just because I feel like that, hands down, is the best fleshed out version of Batman. And that comes down to the fact that it was a series, right? So they had the time to really massage and develop and work out. Then arguably some of the early episodes weren't amazing from a character development standpoint, but I do agree that's probably the best presentation of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Voice acting was amazing across the board. They had some incredible voice actors in that. Plus, you got introduced to the whole Bat family in there, and Ra's al Ghul and all these really cool elements. You get to see Man Bat. That's always fun when he shows up. So yeah, definitely the best, 100%, man. I agree. But yeah, so it's pretty good. Those are my thoughts on that. I'm gonna drink some more coffee.
I think I'm gonna try it out. I've played through. So the only Arkham game I haven't finished is Arkham. Oh shoot, what was the last one? Arkham Knight. Yeah, Arkham Knight. Haven't finished that one yet. Asylum was good, except for I really didn't like the last boss fight. I won't spoil it, but I didn't enjoy it. It was such a tonal shift for me that it took me out of it. It really broke the immersion for me. Arkham City was really good. I really liked Arkham City. And despite, like, you know, popular opinion, I really liked Arkham Origins. It was done by a different studio, but I thought the story was great. I really liked kind of the way they approached it, and voice acting was amazing. It was probably, man, it's up there for first or second for me. Night I didn't finish. As soon as I got the tank car, I kind of lost interest. It was cool, but it was just like, why would I do anything else? Why not just run around and blow everything up with the tank car? Call it a day. Because that's what I would do if I was Bruce Wayne. I would not be flying around as a bat. I would just build a tank car and take care of everything. All right, let's get rid of some of this. Gotham Knights does look pretty interesting, though. I'm always curious about the direction they're taking some of those stories. And it's, I don't know, games to me are, video games are such a great medium for introducing people to that stuff anyway. Yeah, that's fair, man. I'm with you. Yeah, me and Stealth are not best friends, which is funny that I enjoy the Arkham games as much as I do. But I think I like the Arkham games because they don't, for the most part, you really don't have to lean into the stealth. It presents some good mix of like the detective work and the combat system, that rhythmatic combat without actually having to have rhythms, really nice because I don't have rhythm. As you can tell, guys, I'm specking hard into just killing everything. So I'm not really worrying about living at this point. I'll just heal. That'll keep me alive. Oh, can't spec into that. Well. Go back into Cleve then. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Arkham games did a great job of balancing all those things, and the narrative delivery was so good. I mentioned this last week, but like I'm terrible with story. I think I mentioned this. Maybe I didn't. If you didn't know, I'm terrible following stories, and I don't typically like how stories delivered. I don't like anything that really slows me down. Which is why I like D3 so much, because of the audio journals that give you most of the story, and the cutscenes in that are usually about the time you need to take a breather after combat. And I felt that way about the Batman games too, for the most part. Like story beats and stuff really came at the right moments, and that's rare in a game, I find. To get those really, like, just, I don't know, pacing's so important to me in a game, and I feel like some games just don't get that. But the Arkham games, again, I don't know, maybe they're just on this rhythm kick and they figured it out, but it was great. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. But that's good. All right, have any of you guys watched Bad Batch yet? For our Star Wars fans in here, sorry, I'm totally shifting gears. It dropped yesterday, but I'm still in the Clone Wars, so I don't want to jump ahead. You guys seen it? Not yet? That's fair. I'm very curious about it. Did you watch Clone Wars at all? Or any of the other Star Wars cartoon stuff like Rebels or Resistance or any of that? Oh man, I highly recommend Clone Wars. So my kids have gone through it like 3 times, and I've caught little bits here and there, and so I finally committed to like going through the whole series. It's actually now my cooking show. I do most of the cooking in my house. So I get home from work, I will throw an episode on, put my headphones in, and cook supper, and it's awesome. So it's my downtime before I shift gears, and it's been a great show. I would not say you're behind the 8 ball, man. The great thing about Clone Wars, you can jump in at any point and really just enjoy it for what it is. But it is worth doing a, like, you know, season 1, episode 1, all the way to season 7 walkthrough, because it's pretty amazing, and it's such a, man, like if you've seen Mandalorian, you saw the episode Jedi, you appreciate Jedi so much more, that episode so much more, having seen Clone Wars. And I'm not even all the way through Clone Wars, but you really do appreciate the characters in that episode more, I think, having seen Clone Wars. So highly recommend. 10 out of 10 would watch again. But yeah, absolutely good. Rebels is really good too. I would say, though, you'll want to watch Clone Wars first. I kind of did that backwards. I'm like halfway through Rebels and then realized I needed to go back and watch. I should go see if I've actually got any quests done. I haven't been paying attention at all. Yeah, you definitely should watch Clone Wars first, because if not, it's yeah, for sure, man. It's definitely worth watching in that order. Ooh, what is this? It is a bone. Ah, man, I gotta crank up the defense. Worth it. All right, we're gonna tuck this away. Oh, I guess I should sell all her stuff here. All right. There we go. I think we are good. We are good. Okay.
Take care now.
Checking this. Oh, I did have a quest done. All right then.
Printing.
All right, good job, team.
Printing.
It's level 23. I hope I haven't passed level 23 yet. I really don't want to backtrack. The quest, remember, is so just like go kill a thing quests. It is literally the kill 10 rats quest, but one big rat typically. All right, let's see what level we're on here. Hopefully, I haven't gone too far. What level? Oh, level 22. Okay, we're good. We're good. I wonder if that was randomly assigned when they built that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of this game, these maps were randomly generated. D2 introduced that concept. Diablo 2 way back when introduced that concept of randomly generated maps, and Torchlight, again, the developers were the developers for D2, at least the leads on Runic were big developers in Blizzard North. They took that random generation engine and just went next level with it, and I'm pretty sure that particular quest that you get from that guy, where he gives you new things to kill, is just randomly generated based on whatever level you're on when you turn it in, which is kind of neat. Again, just that evolution of a mechanic. You got to appreciate it. You got to appreciate your game in history, which I am a big fan of. So I'm also very lost right now, and there's no map button in this game. Okay, this is the way we came down, so we're gonna go back this way. Here we go. Is there any TV series that you guys would recommend? I'm talking a lot here about stuff I'm watching, but I'm very curious as to what you guys are into. Okay, this is a dead end. We need to circle around. Okay, here we go. Better yet, is there any good movies? I have not watched a good movie in feels like a very long time. I watched some good movies. I did watch the remake of Justice League, and it was interesting. It was long, but I felt, coming back to pacing, for the most part, I felt like the pacing was actually decent in it. You know, 4-hour movie's a 4-hour movie. You kind of have to just, you know, grit your teeth and lean into it. But I felt like Snyder actually did a pretty good job with pacing. Way too much slow-mo. I know the guy's the king of slow-mo, but hokey smokes, man. I think that there was at least an hour worth of slow-mo in that thing. But I did appreciate, aside from that, I did appreciate some of his slow-mo scenes actually were really good. I did appreciate the filming itself was gorgeous. His cinematography, his eye for cinematography is absolutely beautiful. The fact that he shot in 4:3, I think it's 4:3, is that how you say it? I think it's 4:3, essentially in, you know, that massive square format. Took a little bit getting used to. I don't know if you've seen it, if that's something you guys enjoyed. I felt once I got used to it, it actually was pretty good. I didn't think I would like it at all. I'm pretty critical of that stuff, but you know, I watched an interview with him where they asked him, like, why did you film it in, you know, essentially IMAX? And his whole reasoning behind it was, first, he just loves that format, but also that, you know, the reality when you're looking at things is that typically, like, we're standing, so you're filming people standing. It is actually a taller shot than what widescreen accommodates for, and so he felt with this that he was able to better capture, you know, the look and feel of what he wanted, because 95% of the time his characters were standing, which, you know, is what it is. I don't know if I have a feeling one way or the other about that, but I did thoroughly enjoy. Welcome back, by the way, buddy. I did thoroughly enjoy. 91 health. No, the way it was shot. Just talking about the Snyder cut a little bit. I wanted to spend a few minutes there because I have a lot of thoughts. So many thoughts about that. And I was specifically actually just talking about the 4:3 format, the IMAX format. I think it's called 4:3. I may have those backwards. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but you know, don't quote me on that. I have been known to be wrong a lot. Yeah, 4:3. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I actually didn't think I would like it at all. Thought it was stupid. I thought it was just being a dramatic director. But once I got into it, and some of the shots he took were just cinematically beautiful. I actually really liked the color grading on it and the way, the way the camera was angled and stuff. So I think it worked for what he was doing. I don't know. I thought it was presented a very, very beautiful picture. But if you guys saw it, what did you think on this? What were your thoughts? Because I am again, I'm still in the air about it. I may have to rewatch this movie again, which means I got to bunker down for another 4 hours. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I would say if you watch the other Justice League, this is definitely better. If you didn't, don't watch the other one. Don't waste your time. I was so disappointed in that movie for several reasons. All right. Oh, I'm getting. There we go. Had a buzz coming through. Sorry, guys. But I actually really did enjoy it. I felt like it was a much better story. He was able to take the time to unpack things, and to me, I don't know, like, not that I'd want another movie that length from Snyder, but it did actually make a good argument for longer movies. This was a big thing for me when the Harry Potter movies were being developed all those years ago. Was, most of those movies I think are around a 2-hour runtime, which is not enough time for movies like Goblet of Fire or Order of the Phoenix, or basically anything past Goblet of Fire. And my biggest critique of those movies is they cut out way too many things that just took away so much of what makes Harry Potter awesome. And having seen Snyder's cut of Justice League, it kind of reinforces that argument. You know what? Like, sometimes it's worth punching out the 4-hour movie. The extended cut of Lord of the Rings is another great example of when you take the time to unpack the story, you get a better story. I mean, that's just reasonable. And I think audiences will sit through it if it's a good movie. And maybe that's the risk, right? Like, if you don't know if you're not confident your movie's going to be good, or maybe that's not the kind of movie you're making or you're worried about it, maybe the confidence isn't there to go, yeah, I definitely can produce a 4-hour movie and everybody will love it. I think I'm lost again, guys. Yeah, that's the intro, or the intros. But I don't know. It made me believe that it's possible to do a long movie and it be decent, I think, is my takeaway. Also, Batman was awesome in that movie. That's my other takeaway. True story. Don't believe me? Watch the movie. We can talk about it. So it's good. But speaking of movies, what are some of your guys' favorite movies? Maybe right now or of all time, or pick a genre. Doesn't matter to me. I'm curious. I've got a huge list. I have a hard time. My kids and I were talking about this the other day. Actually, our whole family was talking about our favorite movies, and I struggle to answer that question every time it's asked because there's just so many stinking good movies out there. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Also, oh, I'm not lost. I think I figured my way out here. Shamedy. Here we go. Depends on the genre, right? That's always my response too, is depends on the genre. Okay, so let's not say favorite movie, because then there's that stress of, oh no, I'm leaving out a movie. What are some of your favorite movies? Let's say I'll pick a genre for you. Go sci-fi. That's a big genre all by itself. Blah. Oops, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Let's go send him to town.
Your pet has departed.
Let's do a comedy. Napoleon Dynamite. Have you watched that recently, out of curiosity? I have not seen it since we watched it in college. For those on the stream, there we go. Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's a great movie, but I haven't watched it since when we watched it in college. And for those that don't know, Pastor Damon here is my best friend. So we've been best friends forever. Probably 20 years. He's also one of my co-hosts on Roll the Level, which, if you're wondering what Roll the Level is, we actually have a podcast that we've been doing since 2015. It started out with Dame and I talking about life, God, and video games in no particular order, and we convinced our good friend of ours, Sarah, to join us a couple years later, and it's just been the three of us talking about those three things forever. Anyway. All to say that, yeah, Dame, I have not seen that since college. I'm curious if it holds up. It's always the challenge with comedies. I go back and watch some old comedies that, you know, we about died laughing at, and then I watch them now going, ooh, that did not age well. So I'm always curious about that. Did I send my pet to town? I thought I sent my pet to town. Let's check his inventory. Nope, I did not. Okay. Looks like we're manually selling. Pro tip: if you're playing Torchlight, pack up your dog right before you're gonna go to town. Send him to town, and then go to town, and he'll meet you there and have already sold all your stuff. Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite was a great comedy. Man, I'm trying to think of some other really good time. I loved, this is an old comedy. I loved the Blues Brothers. Talking old comedy. This is like 70s, like SNL skit, turn movie. Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, or Joe Belushi, sorry, not John Belushi, Joe Belushi. No, John Belushi. Yeah, I did it right the first time. John Belushi, incredible movie that was birthed out of an SNL skit from the 70s. Ghostbusters, another incredible comedy, again from the 80s. Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd and the director, I can't remember his name. 3 of them co-wrote it. Absolutely incredible. Really, really good. Ghostbusters 2 was also really good. Ghostbusters, the video game, was also really good. 2016 Ghostbusters we don't talk about because it just makes my heart sad. Also very good comedy. Some other great Spaceballs, great comedy from that era. Man, what else? There's just so many good ones back then.
A trap has been sprung.
I'm trying to think of some other comedies that I've thoroughly enjoyed over the years. Fanboys. Oh my word. Have any of you guys seen Fanboys? Fanboys. Anybody? Anybody seen it? Let me tell you, if you are a Star Wars fan, you need to watch Fanboys. It's not even a choice at this point. If you are a Star Wars fan and you've not seen Fanboys, you need to, right after the stream, go figure out where you can buy it, stream it, rent it, whatever, and watch Fanboys. It is probably one of the best nods / parody / make fun of / heartwarming comedies about Star Wars I have ever seen. It's really good. Oh, sweet. I have just enough points for that. That's Wonderbar. Let's pull up the little inventory again. Oh, no. 45. I thought it was 43. Man, I got to go one more level. Ain't got time for this. But yeah, definitely check out Fanboys. It's kind of one of those kind of hero's journey stories that, yeah, in some ways parallels the journey of Star Wars, but is just absolutely ridiculous. And, yeah. All I'll say is it's a carriage house. You should go watch to figure out what that's all about. So, it's good. All right. Here we go. I think we're getting near the end of this game, actually. I'm trying to remember how many levels are in this. I say that, you watch. I'm probably not even a quarter of the way through the game. But I don't remember the original Torchlight being overly long. And I mean, we're on level, what, 23 right now? Oh, that reminds me, too. I need to go turn in that quest. Here we go. Yeah, right? I find it's so funny. I find I have so much less time for movies nowadays. I think TV series are easy because, like I say, I can throw it on while I'm cooking or doing something else, you know, or fill in the blanks. But with a movie, I feel like I have to sit down in one sitting and watch the whole movie, or I've somehow, you know, not watched it properly, I guess, or did it wrong. I've got a list of movies I want to watch, but I just haven't. One movie I wish did better since the visuals were beautiful. Oh, Ender's Game. Yeah. Were you a fan of that was based on a novel, right? I don't know much about Ender's Game, so... It was based on a novel, wasn't it? Or was it a video game, or what was it? I feel like it was something before a movie. It was a novel. Okay. Yeah, and I heard, and again, I don't know because I haven't seen this nor have I read the book. I heard they kind of butchered the end of that. Like they kind of missed the point of the book. Now, again, I could be wrong. They did. Okay. Gotcha. Did they just kind of like not follow the story, or did they kind of miss the whole point of the book? Like what made it bad? Sorry, I keep rubbing my eyes, guys. I'm wearing contacts and they are drying out. So that's fun. Super fun when you can't see. No, that's fair, man. Absolutely. There's been a few movie adaptations to book that have bothered me in that. You know, I Am Legend. I really hated how they just completely messed that up. The novel was really good, and then I don't know what they made, but it wasn't the book. Harry Potter, as much as I love that series, some of the movies miss some pretty big, not just missed parts, but missed points of things. Best example I can give in that is the final battle in Order of the Phoenix between Dumbledore and oh my word, what's his face? Yep, that guy there. Voldemort, there we go. He must not be named. Man, so the way it was presented in the movie, it was presented like Dumbledore was struggling to keep up. And that is just so frustrating because it's so far removed from who Dumbledore was as a character and what he was capable of. And I think that's when I really started getting irritated with adaptations of that particular, close that, there we go, of that particular series, because they started cutting out not just like facets of the movie, but actual story beats or character development beats. And it irritated me a lot. The way they took Dumbledore from there. I also was not a huge fan of the actor's portrayal of Dumbledore that replaced the original actor. I thought that the original actor captured the essence of Dumbledore so well. Such a great job. And then, man, again, I don't know. The subtlety was lost, I think, with the introduction of the newer actor. And obviously they needed a different actor because of, you know, the sad situation there. But it was disappointing that they lost all of that subtlety that came with the original portrayal. But those are my two thoughts on it anyway. Alright, I gotta go to town again because I need to turn this quest in before we go any further. I need to gain one more level so that I can equip this piece of armor I have just laying here. Such a good upgrade. Oh, I should sell all this stuff too. Alright. Okay. Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. Very cool. So your boot came in and up, and then is the plan to, what's the plan? Sell it, or, oh, here we go. Do not pass it around. You know, fair, no better than the Goblin Hordes. Cool. Nah, that's awesome. Run D2 or Destiny 2 on that thing, man. I think it'd be great. I've been trying to figure out a way to get, as a little side project, I like to tinker. I'm trying to get an M1 MacBook to run Destiny 2, but there are some challenges. And actually, the challenge is not to get the game to run. It's because it has the always-on authentication thing online. That's where you're running into an issue. Because I can actually get some things to emulate properly, but I just cannot get it to run perfectly. So, oh, I think I'm fighting a boss. I think I am. This is happening. Damn, that hurt more than I wanted to. All right, let's kill Crag here. He's getting on the nerves. Oh, there's two. Oh, we got the Trollmaster over here. Okay, let's regroup. Let's send up some Goblin or some Skeletal Warriors here. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this. Speed run. There, that should keep them busy. Alright, let's, oh my word, the pushback is terrible. I think he's healing him. I think I have to kill the Trollmaster first. Today kind of changed, well that's fair. 100% fair there, man. It's a good reason to change your mind. Alright, we got him on the ropes, Well, we got one of them on the ropes. I think I killed one. I will say, the mouse over on this is not super amazing. That's true, yeah, new season of Destiny 2 drops on Tuesday, so that's exciting. I've got to get some reviews out of the way before I get into that. Still fighting things. Well, we got mystery boots. Alright. Yeah, it's going to be a good season. I've been hearing a lot of backlash on the way the transmogs are being handled. So I watched the trailer without audio because I was in the middle of something and it just popped up on my. Oops, did not mean to do that. Popped up on my feed. So I have yet to actually sit down and watch it formally. 6-man matchmaking system. Oh, that makes me happy. I could definitely go for that. Because now that there's more of us playing, I am all about having a 6-player setting, more 6-player options, I should say. What are they matchmaking for, though? Are they gonna are we doing dungeon runs with that, or what's that look like? Yeah, that 62 health is actually pretty good. Get rid of those. It's a new activity. Oh, okay. Can you describe said new activity to me? I'm curious. Also, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, there's still a guy to kill. Man, I missed that. Is it just gonna be? Is it gonna be more battleground, or do we know? All right, let's check our quest here. What did we just do? Complete quest for glory. Oh, I thought I turned that in. All right. Okay, Derry. Oh, that's fair. Oh, so they don't explain it in the trailer. They just say that it's happening.
Hello, friends. It's not a skirt.
Oh, I need to watch this at some point soon. Then. I mean, I will take your quest and I will sell whatever you just gave me. Nobody cares. Ooh, I'm so close to level. Alright. Where are we going? What are we doing? Let's run. Guys, I'm almost out of coffee.
Made it to the fortress. Feeling the effects of the Ember Blight? Don't worry. We're close to finding your cure. I hope you will continue to help me afterwards. Whatever is causing this corruption is too powerful.
Agreed.
for me
It
to
is a sad day when there's no coffee.
clear a path to the Ember.
It makes me sad in my heart.
I'll meet you there.
Alright. I think we're almost there, guys. I don't know if we can finish it tonight. I'm gonna get rid of the old one too. But I mean, I do have to work in like 6 hours, or 7 hours. So we'll see. I should sleep a little bit between now and then. But we're gonna get rid of the old one too. See how it goes.
The dwarves were
Alright, beveraging up.
from below and from within. Ordrock's minions assaulted the fortress, and his essence flowed through the ember and turned them to his side. The remains of the battle are all around me, but my understanding comes from the ember. He speaks to me through the veins, and I cannot shut my ears to his voice. Despite his immense strength, Ordrock cannot leave the source of his immortality. His essence reaches out through the veins and corrupts without purpose. Such power could transform the world if only it were freed from this mountain.
Alright, Lost Fortress, here we go. So has there ever been a movie where like the intro or the ending or whatever just really like hit you in the feels or just captured you, or something that really stood out to you? Have you guys ever experienced that in a movie where it just kind of left you, I don't know, in tears or just emotionally wrapped in it or whatever? I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I was rewatching, I don't know, on YouTube, because YouTube. I was just watching a series on the best endings or best beginnings to a movie or something. Oh crap! Gotta get out of the spikes. There we go. And then, anyway, it got me thinking about this, and I'm going, man, like, what is a movie? And there's been some incredible movies over the years, like Casablanca. The ending of Casablanca is absolutely incredible. If you've never seen it, you need to see Casablanca. It is just an absolute gem of a movie. Hold on here. There we go. Oh, that's fair. Heroic one-liners. That makes me happy. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, there's been some good ones over the years for me. Like I was thinking again, Casablanca is one of those ones that final one-liner with Louis, the inspector, is just awesome. But one that I think is underappreciated, and again, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of J.J. Abrams stuff. Some of his stuff's okay. Some of his stuff's kind of meh. I think he's overrated personally. But he did do Star Trek 2009, that series, that trilogy, which they're apparently working on a fourth movie. Excuse me, somehow. I don't know how that's working out. But anyway, the beginning of Star Trek 2009, about 6 minutes in to that movie, is probably one of the best intros to a movie. Like, it's before the credits roll or open up in the title screen and stuff. It's a scene where basically, you know, Jim Kirk's dad has to essentially, you know, save the ship. And it's so well written, filmed. The musical score is incredible. The way the sound effects come into it, everything works together, and I cannot watch it without tearing up. Like, it just, every time, even after all these years, you know, 11 or 12 years later, it still gets me every time I see it. I actually went back and watched it the other day, just the intro. I don't care about the rest of the movie, but the intro, man, it just was so good. Actually, there's a YouTube. You can actually just watch that one scene right on YouTube. I think I have the link here somewhere. Give me like 2 seconds. We'll see if I can find it for you. Let's see if I can throw it up in chat. Maybe I can do that. I don't know if it'll let me do that. I don't know enough about what I'm doing to tell you. There we go. Let's see what this does. I may break it. I don't know. Did that work? Oh, no, that's a OneDrive link? Interesting. I don't know what that does. What's that do? Okay. No idea. Huh. Not what I was looking for at all. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe if I just open the link. There we go. That's better. And we'll do this. There, how's that? Did that work? That might have worked. I don't know. Oh, what's this do? Mod view, what's that do? Okay, I'm gonna stop clicking buttons because I'm just breaking things. Let me know if that link works anyway. It's a worthwhile watch. There we go. Hey, learned something new today. That's cool. All right. As you can tell, guys, we're still figuring this all out, myself included. So, but yeah, check out that link. It is actually the cool ballista shots. It's the intro to Star Trek 2009, and probably one of my most, in recent years, one of my favorite intros to a movie. The other one being the intro to Baby Driver. Edgar Wright. Oh my word, that guy though, just incredible. But I'll talk about that more in like 2 seconds. Let me just clear this inventory out when I can actually focus. Nope, get rid of that. Oh, of course your pack is full.
Your pet has departed.
All right. Oh wow, so many of those too. So yeah, so great intro to a movie. The other one has to be Baby Driver with Edgar Wright directing. Phenomenal director-writer. He did Shaun of the Dead. He's done Hot Fuzz, also one of my favorite comedies in recent times. Yes, the ending of Logan was so good. I really liked the ending of Logan. Probably one of my favorite superhero movies, actually. Just because, yeah, it felt the most real. Real consequences to actions, real weight to choices, everything. It was good, man. So good. Let me clear these guys out. But the intro to Baby Driver was amazing because Edgar Wright is known for what's called the long shot. If you know anything about filming, you know, or not the long shot, the long take, I should say. He goes, I can't even remember the amount of time, but it's like a 5-minute scene where they don't make any cuts. And it's just this incredible pace, you know, well-paced thing, and it's all done to a soundtrack, and just so good. And highly recommend you check it out. I could actually probably find it on YouTube if I wasn't being attacked by things. But worth a watch as well because it's great. It's such a great nod. Oh no, guys, it looks like I have to actually spend this on something other than crit damage or on my slash attack. What we do? Do we go to a different tree? Do we stay in this tree? What do we do? What's even in this tree? I don't know. Titan Stop's kind of fun. I can do the Dune Quake. Strike the ground, sending burning cracks outward to pierce your foes. frost shield. Don't really need defense. Solrend, a powerful phantasmal blade, cleaves your foes. Titan Stomp, bless all nearby enemies with shockwave that damages and knocks them back. Hey, my pet's back. Sweet. I don't know. You guys have any recommendations on what we should go for? Increases your chance to block. I'm not really worried about defense here. Do we stay in the Berserker line and just commit to one of these other abilities? I'm very torn. Well, I guess I could spec in Stampede. I haven't really done much with that. What's my next level do for me? Plus 73 to 124 damage. Plus 15 to knockback. Inflicts 96% of weapon damage. Alright, then. We'll do that. Oh, I was going to find the scene real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I will find it. Sure this is it. Opening title sequence. Here it is. Right here, right here. I think this is it. Hold on. Yep, this is it. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to post this in chat for you guys. If you've not seen Baby Driver, great movie. Highly recommend. Give bonuses a passive bonus. Oh, yes, there were. I totally did not spec into them, but yes, there are. Let me drop this in here. Okay, if you haven't seen Baby Driver, I highly recommend, but check out that intro scene. Definitely great. Great intro. Edgar Wright, genius when it comes to filming. Love his filming style. Also, you should watch Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and At World's End. They're a trilogy, sort of. Okay, whoa, Shrine of Enchantment. Oh, it'd help if I read things. Reading school. Ooh, got a new socket. Oh, I actually put my sword back in. It'd be good. Alright. Nope, there we go. Oh, so many shiny things. Alright. Let me just pull this back up here. Here we go. Oh, another really good ending to a movie, and it's hard to explain why this is a good ending unless you've seen the movie, is a movie called Big Fish. This was like a early 2000s movie, and it's interesting because it's like not a action movie, it's not a really intense movie. It's actually a story about an estranged father and son, and just their journey. But the ending of that movie, because of the journey, is again one of those ones that the first time my wife watched it, the end of the movie comes, she is bawling, and she looks at me and says, I am bawling and I don't even know why. Because the movie did such a great job at bringing you along on this journey, and you felt such empathy for the characters on it and in it, or sorry, in it, that you couldn't help but be emotionally distraught by it. It was so good. Highly recommend it. Ian McGuire, Ian McGuire was in it. No, who was it? Ewan McGregor, there we go, was in it, and just did a just phenomenal job. Anyway, highly recommend that movie too. So good. Yeah, maybe I'll go back and watch that. I haven't seen it in a while. I wouldn't mind seeing that again, actually. You know, I'm always up for a good cry. Floors are left in this. I don't know if I can finish it tonight, but I was kind of hoping to. Maybe if we just push quickly here and skim through all these guys, try to find the exit. is that trap already? Oh, it's already set. Okay, I see.
You have tried.
Man, so the big question is, like, once I finish Torchlight 1, do I push on to Torchlight 2, or do I introduce you guys to some of my other favorite classic ARPGs? I have a very long list of ARPGs to go through that I feel, some of which have just been underappreciated. Some push the genre forward but never really got the recognition they probably should have. Some I just love the setting. But I'd be very curious as to what you guys would want to see next on the stream after we're done with this game. Maybe I'll put a Twitter thing out and we'll see what people say, because I am very curious about that. If you don't follow us on the social medias, we are on YouTube and Twitter and on Facebook as well. Just outroll the level. You can find us in any of those places. We try to keep things updated on Twitter specifically and Facebook by proxy. Yeah, I don't think we're not on Instagram. As you can tell, I clearly don't handle the social media accounts. But yeah, we do keep things updated on Twitter, so you can kind of know what the latest and greatest stuff's going on there. And so yeah, definitely check that out. Also, what have you guys thought of the music tonight? I found these guys. This is what is it, Chill Out, I think it is. Great resource. These guys are pretty awesome. They create all this music and then let you just use it for free. You just credit them with it in your an about page on Twitter or on YouTube, and they're super okay with you using all their stuff, which is amazing because I've personally enjoyed it, but I'd be very curious to see what you guys have to say about that as well. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad. I spent most of the week, no jokes, like while I was working, just jumping through a bunch of different royalty-free stuff, or music like this where they let you use it. You can actually find these guys on YouTube as well. On our Twitch page, if you go to the About, I put a panel in there, info panel for them. If you click it, it'll take you right to their page, and they show you all the different places you can listen to music. They're on Spotify, Apple Music. Super good, like just to have to work music. You put that in, and you can kind of, work on whatever you got to work on your computer. Super nice for that too, which has been my week. I do all my editing while listening to this, except for when I'm EQing. But other than that. Thanks, buddy. Well, most of the games for the most part nowadays, I've kind of gotten to a point in my life where I'm really just playing the games I enjoy. We've done a lot of game reviews over the years, and don't get me wrong, I've been so grateful for those experiences and love the journalism part of it. But I've kind of I get tired sometimes just checking out new games all the time. So I'm really trying to lean into those games that I love, or the ones that I loved but didn't have time to get all the way through because I had to move on to the next game, or didn't have time to really kind of just soak up all the awesomeness in them. So that's a lot of what I'm doing now. With the stream, is just taking the time to really appreciate the effort that went into them. So yeah, if you guys let me know, I think I'll do a poll on the Twitters. Oh, this was a terrible mistake. Run. There we go. And see what we should play next. Because we can always circle back to there we go, Stairs Down. We can always circle back to more Torchlight later. Alrighty. Well, guys, I don't know if I can beat the game in 4 minutes. I'm going to try real hard, but I think there's still at least... My guess is there's 30 floors in this game, if I had to guess. Which I do. I guess I could Google it, but it's so far away. I just need something that's at my fingertips that has access to all the information in the world. Alright. Fame Monster. Give me that fame. There we go. Take that. When did we there's only like 27 levels to this, and the next level is final boss. What's this? Oh, 102. Oh man, I gotta get that defense up there though. That's a sweet piece. We're gonna hold on to that. Alright, let's try to do this. One of the other things I appreciate about this game, and this is something they were very intentional about when they were designing it. I don't know if you guys have noticed when you're watching the monsters appear on screen, but they were very intentional about creating creative ways for monsters to appear on screen, which seems like a really silly little detail. But when you're playing this game and then you go back to play something like Diablo 2, where monsters just float on the edges of the screen until you essentially activate them, you trigger them by being in their vicinity. Torchlight really worked to create unique ways for them to appear. Like right now, you can see the skeletons jumping off a ledge to come attack us. And it was just like one of those little details that made this game stand out. That made it more than just a Diablo 2 clone. Was just these little things that they worked really hard to do. And man, you gotta appreciate the attention to detail on that. And again, what makes this so amazing? 11 months, guys. Like 11 months. Build a company, build a game engine, and then build a game and ship it. Like that blows my mind. I just can't get my head around it. I was so disappointed the day that Runic shut down, where they got bought out and then they were shut down. It's one of those companies that they did such great stuff. Like Torchlight 1 and 2 came out, then they released a game called Hob, which if you haven't played Hob, maybe we'll do Hob sometime, because that's a phenomenal game too. That's a game that works to tell you a whole story without ever actually using words. And I appreciate that so much. They lean hard into that mystery thing and leaving clues in the environment around you to tell their story, and it's so good. And it's a different style of game. It's not an ARPG. Yeah, really good game. Definitely worth checking out. It was the last game. They only ever really made 3 games: T1, T2, and then Hob. Now I will say some of the team that was on Runic did go over to work on Torchlight 3 under the new banner. Most, or at least a portion of the team was dissolved. They kind of moved on to other companies and stuff, which sucks because Runic was a great team. They're a super small team, but they did some pretty awesome stuff. Oh sweet, I need to crank up the defense. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get this for another level or two. The other thing they were really intentional about in this game too was creating an art style. Like we look at this and go, oh, it's kind of cartoony, but they intentionally created an art style that would at least appear ageless for a very long time. Essentially what World of Warcraft did, where it created an art style that could transition technology, right? Like, I mean, if you look at World of Warcraft like day one vanilla, which we can now do with the vanilla servers or private servers, versus the game we have, today with Shadowlands, like they have clearly updated so many, character models and stuff like that. But what's neat is that because the art almost transcends time that way, even older games like Torchlight still look and present well. And you've got to appreciate that kind of mindset of designing a game in a way that it'll still look good. Like the mechanics may not have aged so well. Like the pathing's a bit of an issue in this, and combat feels a little clunky. But that art style, like it just keeps going, and you gotta love that in a game. I think that's almost got more value than the hyperrealism, because what we perceive as hyperrealism in a game today is not what it'll be like in 20 years, and we'll look back at it in 20 years and go, oh man, that was terrible. Right? Like I remember when GoldenEye came out for N64, and we were all blown away that Pierce Brosnan's face was on a character model, and then to look at that today, I mean, it's laughable. And that's not a slight on the game. Like what they were producing at the time was phenomenal, but just the point being that it doesn't always age well, versus making the intentional choice to design a game with an art style that will age well. Borderlands is another great example of that, where they intentionally picked an art style that even today you go back and play Borderlands 1, it still looks pretty good. And fun fact on that one, they actually changed the art style like a couple months before the game was set to release. They made a design decision to get out of that hyperrealism and go for that crazy cartoony vibe they have. And I'm pretty sure that's what made that game so successful. That and the fact they're all of the loot. But yeah, they changed, Borderlands changed their art style a few months before release, and it dramatically impacted the way that game was received, which is kind of interesting. All right, I do not think I'm going to make it all the way through this game tonight, guys, but it has been so much fun to talk pop culture, to hang out, to chill with you guys. Thanks so much for joining me on the stream. It really has been a good time. You know, make sure you jump on all of our social medias and follow us on all of the places. Give us a follow. If you've enjoyed tonight, give us a follow here on Twitch. You know, it helps us out a lot. It's encouraging to us, you know, lets us know to keep doing this thing. We are here to build community and get to know you guys and, you know, and share this time with you. Catch us on Friday at 9 a.m. We're going to do something a little unique. We're going to live stream our podcast that we do and then actually jump into a co-op game. So you're going to see Dame and I and Sarah together co-op streaming a game called Drake Hollow. It's a new one on Xbox. I think it's called Drake Hollow. I surely hope I'm getting that right. But it's on Xbox Pass right now, and it's a co-op experience. We're going to dive into that. And that's 9 a.m. Eastern. Thanks, Dame. I appreciate that. I just assume everybody's on Eastern time. Anyway, that's coming up down the pipe. We got everything on our schedule, and we will talk to you next time on the stream.